What's up, Barry?
I'm good.
Good. Jack's with us?
I'm there, here. Have you got me, Tyler?
We got you, buddy.
Okay, I think we're on air right now, so I'd like to welcome everybody to Logan County Fiscal Court this morning. As far as a new COVID report we got this morning, in the Barron County area, there have been 25,936 cases. We'd had 309 deaths. 22,735 people have recovered, with a total of 2,892 still active cases in the Barron River District. In Logan County, we've had 2,295 cases. We've had one more death. We've got 45 deaths. We had one death recorded yesterday. 1,982 recoveries with 268 active cases in Logan County. It's showing 34 new cases since Friday, so the daily average is down a little bit. And yesterday, the governor's report was one of the lowest numbers that he's reported in a long time. It was just barely over 1,000. It was 1,003. And so we need to keep all these people in mind. I know every one of us know friends that has got friends and loved ones that's going through a lot right now. We need to remember those people this morning. And also our jailer, Phil Gregory, had a fall, broke a bone in his arm. I think it was maybe Sunday. But, we need to remember that family. He's supposed to be going to an orthopedic person today, I think. So, with that being said, Lord, won't you lead us in our prayer this morning?
Father in heaven, Lord, I pray you thank you for this day you've given us, Lord. Lord, I pray you be with this court as they meet today, Lord, just guide each man and make right decisions, Lord. Lord, be with all those who are suffering hard times right now with the COVID virus and all that's going on, Lord, and just be with those nurses and doctors on the front line, Lord, those getting the shots, Lord. And I pray this vaccine will be a miracle, really, and get this under control. Lord, just be with us through this day. I ask these things in Jesus' name.
Amen.
Amen. I'm going to hand this to you, so you got those numbers if you need to.
Thank you.
Okay, let's call the meeting together this morning with pledge to American flag. Okay. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Again, we'd like to welcome everybody to Logan County Fiscal Court this morning. We got one special person sitting in here today, our Assistant County Attorney, Elizabeth. It's good to have you here today and filling in for Joe today.
Thank you very much. Glad to be here.
And so it's good to have you here. Before we get started this morning, item number 7. I want to strike that item of business to approve the county judge executive and the county treasurer to have the authority of approving insurance payment to the provider at 200% or above Medicare rates. And I want to add approve negotiated contract payments with our local hospital and Paragon Insurance.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, got a motion and a second for the budget amendment. So, I mean, not the budget amendment, but the amendment to the agenda. Is there any question? Okay, let's have roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Crosley,
Here.
Wright,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Kyle,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Chick,
Yes. Okay, the first thing on the agenda is approval of the minutes from the last court meeting.
Make a motion to approve the January 26th minutes as presented.
Second.
Okay, got a motion and second. Now, is there any question? Okay, not hearing any, let's have a roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Crossley,
Here.
Bright,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Kyle,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Chick.
Yes. This morning, we got Lloyd Alchins and Steve Taylor, and I think is that the only two here this morning? I think most of you got a copy of a report from Public Service Commission. Is that where it came from? So I went ahead and called them. I know last time we got one, y'all wanted them to come, so I got both of them here today to kind of address this report and what's going on at East Logan. So whatever one of you wants to come up.
I guess everybody did get a copy of the letter from the Public Service Commission, and just kind of wanted to address a little bit of what's going on and, you know, kind of things in the life at East Logan. The PSC Commission, they've become extremely focused on water loss in the last few years. That's kind of the path that they are taking. They've set an arbitrary number of 15% as being what they consider acceptable, 15% or less. That's kind of an arbitrary number. You know, that's very difficult to attain, especially in a big spread out system. Smaller systems with high volume users, that's a much easier number to attain. In 2019, when East Logan switched from a private contractor running the system to hiring its own employees, that year we had a 19% water loss. This past year we were at a 29% water loss, which we are not happy with. We are constantly addressing water loss. Some of the things that we've done is, you know, we systematically every month when we run our water loss numbers, our system's broken up into zones. The zones that have the highest loss, we try to go through those systems. We bought some new sounding equipment where we go from meter to meter sounding for leaks that maybe are not visible to the eye. We systematically go through those. We constantly try to, and COVID, I know you all face that every day with all the COVID stuff going on. Sometimes getting assistance, getting people from the state is very difficult to get those meetings set up. We work with Kentucky Rural Water. They have people that is their job, is to come out and help rural water associations with leak detection, trainings, but that's been extremely difficult to accomplish this year. I mean, their policy has been, except for emergency cases, no in-person contacts. We have had them down a couple of times just to do some brief work. We're supposedly on the schedule to have them out to show us how to do some more leak detection, use some of the equipment we have that we really don't know how to use. We're young, we're inexperienced. East Logan has had its own employees for about 5 years now. But in that transition, there was a tremendous amount of knowledge lost. You know, when you had one person that had run the system for 30 plus years, when that person leaves, we are in a terrible lack of knowledge of our system right now. We're learning. I think right now we have an excellent crew. I hired in a year ago in December. We've got 3 more full-time employees that I'm extremely proud to have working with us. I think they are all driven and motivated to learn our system, And with that, I think the water loss will come down. East Logan is doing extremely well, even with our high water loss. I guess that's the one exception I have with PSC report, where that wording that says we're not providing safe drinking water. Our water, all our samples, we have never had samples that didn't meet the Division of Water or the Safe Drinking Water Act standards. I'm very proud of the water that we serve our customers and how we try to address customer complaints. And some of that said, some of the things that we face in water loss, Friday we fixed a leak, a service line, a 3/4 inch service line that went from the main to the meter that had 9 previous repairs in it. And then we fixed one yesterday that in about a 6-foot section had 5 previous repairs in it. And we've adopted the policy that anytime we dig up a service line to fix it, if there is at least one previous repair, we replace the entire service line. So some of those are the things that we're trying to do to address water loss. We have some scheduled times, if COVID allows, with Kentucky Rural Water. We have some guys hopefully next week that will be here to help us. That was point one in their complaints to us about water loss. Second is having meters that have been in the ground 10 years. You know, they do have a statute that says any meter that's been in the ground 10 plus years is supposed to be either pulled out of the ground and tested or replaced. We are aware that we're behind the curve on that. That's something we are trying to address. We're trying to look at it from a financial. Our meters, if we pull them out and test them, those meters have to be pulled out, tested, and put back in the same meter box that they come out of because of the age of our meters. So there's a financial. Is it financially feasible to test those meters if they need to be rebuild them and put them in the ground, or to purchase new meters? In late 2018, which was prior to my employment, they started a process of looking at meters to replace in our system. We've had some complications with that. We've not been able to get a satisfactory result out of those meters. We're still trying to get that worked out, which there again, COVID, the company that we bought them from, has made it very difficult for us to work with them to see if we could work out those issues, or if we're going to go back to the old style of meters that we've used in years past. But our goal is, and we have plans to start a meter replacement program. Hopefully within the next 12 months or so, we can be back in compliance with that second point they have there. That's really about all I have. I'm very proud of the crew that we have. We're working hard to learn our system. Anybody, any comments, questions?
Steve, I didn't bring my report, I apologize. So tell me what the current, according to the commission, what's your current loss rate?
The current water loss for 2020 was 29%. 29.17, I think. I don't actually see it right here.
So has like East Logan set a goal of what they were trying to get that to
Well,
reasonably?
We always want to, I mean, every month we analyze our water loss, and I don't know that we have a set number, except we want water loss to go down. I think that was actually 2019 numbers. The 2020 numbers, it looks like they're going to come in at around 25%, so in the 4 to 5% improvement on water loss. And I think that will improve with the longevity of our employees. They've had a tremendous amount of turnover in their employees in recent years, and we're striving now to hire people that want to be there long term, which is what a water system needs.
I know you took a tough blow when you lost somebody that done it for 30 years and knew the whole system.
Right.
But, you know, nobody's irreplaceable with an organization that has great documentation. So I'm sure y'all kind of have learned from maybe that to document better, and this is where everything is, and maps, and I'm sure that 30 years ago, people, you just went and put water in, I mean.
Exactly.
It wasn't
And some of that knowledge lost that's not really anybody's fault, I don't guess.
Right.
It's just where we are, and we have 300 plus miles of water line in our system, and anybody that's ever been in some of the areas that we serve, there are some pretty rough areas that.
How do you know where a leak is unless someone calls and tells you the last broke?
Some of what we do, that's what some of the sounding devices are. When we go meter to meter, you can put that sounding device on the meter, and sometimes you'll pick up a leak that's not surfacing. We found several of those, especially when you get in some of the more rocky areas. That water will go down into a sinkhole, and you can have the same thing. And on main lines, and part of this is we're learning, is you go from valve to valve, and you can close a valve and then either listen to that valve and see if you get a rush of water through it. Sometimes we go out, especially in that midnight to 3 a.m. period when there's very low water loss. You can get out and work valves, and we've identified several leaks like that. And we need to make some improvements in our water monitoring system. We have some stuff that shows flows on some of our meters, and you can watch trends in those. And if you've got a section that you have water flow climbing, you're like, okay, these numbers are climbing. We need to get in this area and look for a leak. So we're working hard, but we're just young. That's not an excuse. That's just we're young and we're learning. Well, I'm not so young, but I'm new to this job. So,
How many customers do y'all have?
I think we have about in the neighborhood of 3,200 active accounts. There's approximately, I think, Lloyd, am I right? Something like 3,600 like services that we know of.
I'm not interested, but do y'all have a SCADA system?
We do have a SCADA system. That's what our monitoring. We are in the process of doing some updates on the SCADA system. Our system is old. It's been put in piecemeal over, probably over the course of, I don't know how many years. We actually have some of the computer system components of that the guy that takes care of that for us, he's already got that ordered.
Do you have a certain time of the day that you actually monitor your SCADA system?
Well, usually the first thing in the morning is when we really analyze that to see if. Personally, I like to look at those overnight hours, the midnight to 3 or 4 a.m. because that's when your water. Right. That
system, if something's going wrong.
Right. That if your numbers are higher than normal during that time when not very many people are using water, that's a pretty good indication you've got an issue in that area. And that helps us to know where to focus our attention.
Well, 17% is not, it's not uncommon to have that. The normal loss is 15%. Am I not correct?
Well, and that 15% is, I personally don't like percentages versus water loss. If you have one thing that does hurt us, and there again, I'm not making excuses, but we don't have a lot of industry that uses a lot of water. We have, if you have a smaller system and they use, we have one customer that, and I just crunched a few numbers, that when they came in, they proposed that they might possibly use as much as 15 million gallons a month. They use about 900,000 a month. if they use the 15 versus the 1, that 14 million gallons going to one location would drop our percentage loss to about 19%. I mean, no, yeah, to about 19% versus 25, which we are currently at. So I personally don't like a percentage. I like to look at total gallons and, you know, if you're making progress. And your water loss always goes down in the summertime because people are using more water. And your leakage theoretically should stay the same. So I really do not like that percentage number because it's a little bit deceptive. But all that said, we're working hard, we're making progress. I feel really good about the crew if we have. And I appreciate y'all's concern with what we're trying to do here.
We appreciate y'all coming and letting us know what's going on.
Appreciate it.
I would like to say a thing. I'm a commissioner, and I appreciate y'all putting your trust in me to start another 3 years, last court meeting. And we do have, like Stephen said, I'm not going to try to make a speech or anything, but Stephen, he talked about having a young crew, and they are, and we got a good crew, and so I just hope that the Public Service Commission and everybody will be patient, because I have confidence that this water district is going to get better, because each one of them are very conscientious people. It's working. They don't mind working. They don't mind getting down into the ditch, getting dirty. And so I believe in the future we'll have one of the top water districts in the state, in the top 10 or something they thought kept. So appreciate you allowing us to speak. And Stephen did a good job. He's doing an excellent job. We're blessed to have Stephen. We're blessed to have all of them. And this COVID thing, one thing we hadn't had is people's license, and if Lord willing, pretty soon we'll have, might have 3 with license. And we got one that's got 1 license, 1 level, but hopefully when this COVID lets up and they can get their license, and you know, and they are, like he said, they're all new. And when you think about, I know I had a water loss at home, a leak, and I lost 7,000 gallons. There's nothing showing up, and you can do that. And when you talk about over 300 miles of water lines, and it don't take much to it mount up to that. So, but I appreciate y'all's patience with them. They're doing a good job.
I had one more question. Horizontal boring, did that affect the water loss the past 2 or 3 years to speak of?
More so in time that it took away. You know, a big leak, a big rip-roaring leak looks terrible, but you can find that rascal pretty quick. I mean, it looks terrible, and you may dump 100,000 gallons in just a few hours. But the long-term small leaks, when you've got a leak, you've got a 5 gallon a minute leak that leaks for months on end, you get into millions of gallons pretty fast. And those are hard to find.
It's like he said, a lot of our service lines got several repairs already, but they're replacing them. When they pick one up, it's got a couple on there, they replace them, you know, and so several service line leaks will amount for a lot of water. Because I know that man, I didn't know it was leaking. I got a bill, $70, and I normally use just a normal usage, you know, and it was just a small spraying leak. It leaked out 7,000 gallons, what water I used, and some way it was entered into my sewer system, and it like to run my sewer system, but and I didn't even realize it leaking, you know, and so it's just a chore to find by them. We appreciate you listening to us.
Yeah, appreciate it. I want to mention something else. This is nowhere near and the biggest issue is leaks, but if y'all could help us out a little bit or pass the word along, when you make a cut in a road, to communicate with the road department or a magistrate in that area or something. I've had the rocks wash out and I've had cars bottom now and call me, so we go put some rock. Just pass the word along, maybe help us a little bit on that. I appreciate it. Thank you, I appreciate it.
Thank y'all.
Okay, thank you. Good point. Thank y'all for coming this morning. Okay, next item of business is the bill list and supplemental bill list. And before we pay the bill list, and I meant to do this, but I had stuff going on in my office, was reading, I was late this morning. The medical bills at the sheriff's office, we're going to pull them today and make sure that every one of them was a true bill. So what we're doing, we're going to ask that we approve the bill list and a supplemental bill list, and with not paying those bills today, but paying them at the next court meeting.
So moved.
Okay, I guess your motion is pay the bills and the supplemental bill list minus
Minus the
those
sheriff's
bills.
department.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
or something similar to that.
Yes, sir.
Any questions? Okay, if not, let's have roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Crossley,
Here.
Wright,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Kyle,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Chick.
Yes. Okay, treasurer report, man.
So in your folders today, you should have a copy of the January 31st financial statement. The balance in the general fund was $1,845,542.86. Road fund $1,028,564.29. Jail fund $40,651.75. LGEA $137,609.57. Federal grants fund $1,235,291.34. Solid waste $625,732.30. Occupational tax $5,705,716.56. Life skills $153,388.86. 911 fund $31,302.84. Health insurance fund $404,276.18. Special reserve $4,180,192.96 for a total of all funds $15,388,269.51.
Move to acknowledge.
Second.
Okay, got a motion and second to acknowledge the financial statement. Is there any questions? Okay, let's have roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Crossley,
Here.
Wright,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Kyle,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Chick.
Yes.
You also have a list of budget transfers in your folders that we need to get approved.
Make a motion, we approve the budget transfers as presented.
Second.
Okay, got a motion and second on the budget transfers.
Okay.
Any questions? Okay, not hearing any, let's have roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Crossley,
Here.
Wright,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Kyle,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Chick.
Yes.
And today, we need to transfer $100,000 from the occupational net profits tax fund to the jail fund.
I make the motion.
Second.
Okay, got a motion and a second. Now, is there any question? Okay, let's have roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Crossley,
Here.
Wright,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Kyle,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Chick.
Yes.
And that's all I have for you today.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Amanda. Amanda, come here just a second, if you're going downstairs. Okay, road work request, Tyler.
On Dennis Road, I'll have to, only one of the curves about there is, it's dropping off pretty good, and rock, some rock out that way. I'll have to give you the exact location, but I can't remember. It's in one of the curves, and there's some rock, but that's it, though. I appreciate it, Paul, thank you.
Jack, road work?
Okay, everything's good. Appreciate what y'all do. Thanks.
No, I've got it, I've got it.
District 3, y'all rode
Okay.
on the road this
I guess
morning,
I
I think put some rock in up there. We're gonna see about a tile or something there, because it keeps on washing out, but you know where it's at, it's about 500 foot in there. And I appreciate them working on it this morning, and continue maintenance, thank you.
District 4, everything's looking good. Thanks for all the hard work the past couple of weeks. Just continue maintenance.
District 5, same thing.
District 6, continue maintenance, thanks for everything you do, I appreciate it. Get the feedback show last Wednesday, and I somebody inquired about the, what was the name of that road? Ken was on it.
Oh, I'll be,
Alvin.
yeah, we was back with it before.
Yeah, I told him you had, and, just want me to update that, so I can meet with them, and maybe take you out there with me, just, we've done that several times, and I explained that to her, I said, we tell you, every time that we need to do it, before it even be considered, and it doesn't move, she seems to be a little more, she's new to the community, she seems to be a little more, warm to do those improvements, so if we could just update that, I'll set up a time for real meeting and at least present. If you don't mind. Thank you.
Okay, y'all have heard the road work request. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, got a motion second. I hope every one of you are looking at your report every court meeting. Work being done in your area. I get several calls a year wanting to know, about how they can set up a report, and we had that done through a private contractor in Logan County that I don't think wants to do it again. But a lot of counties are not getting that report, so. Anyhow, no question, let's have roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Crosley,
Here.
Wright,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Kyle,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Chick.
Yes. Okay, elected officials, Scotty?
Before we get up here, somebody told me, did Phil Gregory fall?
Yeah.
Somebody wonder how he's doing.
Well, he's supposed to go to a doctor today, so I guess he'll find out more today. He's broke his arm.
Morning, Clerk.
Good morning.
First thing I need to do, I guess, is the January fee report. I need to get that acknowledged by the court, please.
So moved.
Okay, got a motion second to approve the clerk's January fee report. Is there any question? Okay, if not, let's have roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Crosley,
Here.
Wright,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Kyle,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Chick.
Yes.
Okay, the other thing I have, I placed before each of you each year we have to do a final settlement of all our fees by February 15th. And once I get that acknowledged by the court, I have to, by statute, place that in the newspaper. I just need to get that also acknowledged by the court, please.
You talking about, this was laying up here, I didn't know.
Yes, sir. That's
That was
the
your-
final settlement
That's your final settlement
for 2020.
2020, okay. I didn't know what it was when I first looked at it, why it was here.
Motion to acknowledge.
Second.
Okay, got a motion and a second to acknowledge the fiscal year 2020, I guess is what it is,
It'll
settlement.
be calendar year.
Yeah, calendar year
Calendar year
settlement.
2020.
Any questions? Did you get a copy of that?
Yes, I've got it, Bolden.
Okay. Okay, let's have roll call, no questions.
Davenport,
Yes.
Crossley,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Kyle,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Chick.
Yes.
All I have, Judge, thank you.
Thank you, Scotty.
Okay, Steve?
Just need to get January's speed report acknowledged.
Move to acknowledge the sheriff's department fee report for January.
Second.
Okay, got a motion second to approve the January fee report for the sheriff's office. Any questions?
I have one. Steve, remind me, I forget what CCDW permits are.
The concealed weapons permit, we collect a $20 fee for those.
Apologize.
Oh, it's okay.
Okay, any other questions? Okay, let's have roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Crossley,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Kyle,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Chick.
Yes.
Also, I want to let the court know that we applied for the AUP audit agreement. I think most of you are aware of that. It's basically you have to be eligible to meet certain criteria and good audits to apply for this, and we recently got accepted for that, which basically means it's a shorter version of the audit, and it saves up to 60% on the county's cost for the audit. So we was at the sheriff's conference last week, and there's only about 30 sheriff's offices out of the state of Kentucky that's actually been able to do that. So
Awesome.
we're pretty proud of that.
Congrats, man. Good job.
And also, just again, thank you guys. When you're at the conferences and you get to your other sheriffs talk about their courts, you know, I could sit there and say I was very proud of our court because we have a very good court. So some sheriffs do not have that luxury. So again, thank you for everything you do.
Appreciate it.
That's all I have.
Okay, we'll move to department heads. Agenda.
Next month.
Do what? Okay. Okay, Paul, you got anything this morning?
No, sir.
Okay, Nathan?
Morning.
Morning.
Had several things in y'all's folders, and I apologize. It's like I almost want to hear myself talk, but I really promise I don't. But we'll get through this as best we can. Had a litter abatement report in there for what we did in January, and it's 49 bags and 5 tires. I did want to say a thanks to Jason here. He helped out with a dump site on Iron Mountain Road that I'm currently investigating. It was 15 bags and some furniture, and appreciate him there, and we're working on it and hoping to get some groups started here really soon, some nonprofit groups picking up litter as well. The recycling, I have a 2-month report there, but in those 2 months for that part of December, January, and February, we got 21 cardboard bales and a load of plastic and a load of metal. And are there any questions or comments on those reports?
Hit that coffee table, didn't you, Jason?
Yeah, I re-sold it, painted it and sold it.
Well, in your folders as well, there were 3 recyclers that I inspected in this period. Ernie's, Cumberland Scrap, and Auburn Pallet. And they all inspected okay, and they paid their fees. And if you have questions about any of them, we'll take that. I do want to apologize today. I have a little hard of hearing today. A little stopped up, so if I can't hear you, forgive me.
I don't feel sorry for you.
Hard of hearing.
Do what? You need these approved? Is that-
Yes, sir. Okay.
I'll make a motion to approve the 3 recycler permits. Is that what it is? Yeah.
Okay, you probably need to read them out.
All right, Ernie's Lawn Mowing Repair,
Cumberland Scrap, and Auburn Pallet. I make a motion to approve those three permit applications.
Okay, got a motion and second to approve the 3 recyclers permits, so any questions? Okay, let's have roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Crossley,
Here.
Wright,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Kyle. Bolden,
Yes.
Chick.
Yes.
Thank you. And the solid waste annual report is something I do every year at this time for the state of Kentucky. And I believe that you all might have a copy of that in front of you. And it was emailed as well. I have the appendices. I actually have a completed copy here if anybody needs to see those. There are a few appendices that come with that as well. But I need the approval for the judge to sign. If you have any questions on it, or comments, I'd be happy to comment. I mean, we definitely are hoping to get the litter and recycling kind of pick things up as we have the ability to. Some of the actual companies, like the recyclers we approved, are doing pretty okay, pretty good. But as far as for us, we're hoping to get things back up.
We need, obviously I say this before, just once a year, so I'm not real familiar with anything on here.
Sure.
Should it be noted to the board?
Not particularly, nothing of any that's really of any change except those numbers, the recycling numbers and some of the other numbers are down a little bit, some. It's not a little bit, some, just because of the lack of ability to get the inmate help, so.
This franchise fee, the Scott Waste franchise, is that what we collect from them for doing business in Logan County?
Yes, and that's actually was way up.
Okay.
And actually Amanda and the judge sat down and talked about it, and they figured out it was,
It's up due to construction in the county, more so than anything.
So that page is on 5 of 17. So on 6 of 17, our total income is $150,000. Is that what I'm looking at?
Connected with solid waste,
Connected with solid waste. Okay. So is that the grant, the litter abatement grant, $47,000? Is that something we receive every single year?
Yes,
Okay.
we do. We get that. It varies a little bit as to how much it is, just kind of based on the money they have and the road. They base it off the road miles that are in a county. So we get a pretty good amount because there's quite a bit of road. But it's been a little less or a little more than what it was this time.
Okay. Yeah, this is a pretty good detailed report.
Thank you.
Appreciate you emailing it out.
Yes, sir, appreciate it. Gives us time to look at it.
Second.
Okay, got a motion and second to that the court acknowledges or approves the report and allow Nathan and myself to sign it. We have a second. Is there any questions? Okay, if not, let's have roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Crossley,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Kyle,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Chick.
Yes.
All right, thank you all. And I placed a little drawing in y'all's folders from Google. Wish I could draw that well. Mr. Bolden, Thomas, last time we mentioned about having at our recycling site an additional trailer. As you all remember, we approved a new company to help us haul and sell the recyclables. And we talked about having an extra trailer on site, and the reasons that Mr. Bolden gave for that were the damage the forklifts could do to the building, as well as to help the appearance at the site from having to store bales around. And we talked about it, and one issue that we have is that we only have one loading dock on site, and I put that on the little drawing there. That's our loading dock, and there's a trailer sitting there at that point. And we would have to be moved in and out. If you store the bales in a trailer, you got to move it in and out so the other trailer that picks up the bales can get in. So what we would propose, I talked with Tim, and Tim spoke also with Judge Chick on this. A prefabricated building could be a good option for us on the spot that I put in the drawing. There's also maybe another spot we could put it in addition. And we could put a couple together as needed, put the sides on them, and then have an opening toward the animal shelter. And then we would have the ability to take care of Thomas's concerns there, and then also have more room in the center as well without having to have another trailer be pulled in and out. So that was just something we wanted to put before the court and see what y'all had to say about that.
Question, can we put another loading dock in?
I'm not an expert on that. I guess we probably could if we needed to.
If we had another loading dock, could we not, again, just go with the trailer concept? And as you get a bale completed, you put it in the trailer, kind of like what you're doing now, but instead of having to go out into the yard, if you want to call it that.
Well, the idea for the prefabricated building was to save money, I guess. My thoughts, not without, I'm by no means a building expert, but the thought would be you have to fix a dock and buy another trailer to put in on that site. And if you get a prefab building, it would be a lot cheaper route to go where the site is neater, which was your concern last time. That you got bales everywhere.
What's most efficient that would allow y'all to process more bales? Would it be
That's what we think would be that way.
Do you think the building will be more
Have a
efficient?
building or put a couple buildings together. We cover them up. They're covered, the prefab buildings are covered, so there's no rain getting on the bales.
Where's the ramp at? How do we get the forklift out of the building, around the building, and the bales inside?
There's a, I guess I should draw that for you too. I can draw it how it goes, but there's a door. There's a door right here. That's the door. You just
Okay.
drive it around like that.
Thomas, what you're saying is if you had two trailers parked there and basically when you're filling up one, you don't have to go outside to put it under a storage. I mean, you just walk into the trailer. So that would be, I would think, more.
Did you get a quote on a prefab metal building?
No, I haven't because we wanted to run this by you first.
What you drew right there is about a 30 by 40. That's probably a $7,000 to $10,000 building, like a steel.
If one of them pallets or the cardboard bales falls into it, it's just gonna dent the fire out of it. It's not, I mean, you're gonna build a carport shelter is what.
Is that what you're thinking of, is like a carport shelter?
Kind of something like
You
that.
wanna build a building, you build it out of post and line it where it will take the abuse. Or put a dock in and another trailer, and that way if we tear the trailer up, we put another one there and keep going.
And it's my experience with, it's just sheet metal, nothing wrong with prefab building in the right scenario, covering your car up, covering, running some equipment up or something. But when you're physically moving parts in and out, you need to do things with industrial, which is concrete, poured concrete, maybe blocks. I'm not a big fan of blocks because, floors get blocks and they're gonna bust the blocks and, all those are a little more, permanent and they're more expensive. I think if you ran first, what is our best scenario, and then look at the numbers second, you would probably see long-term that a dock would be a whole lot cheaper. But I have not ran the numbers, but I'm not for a prefab metal building that's just gonna get tore up and look like junk. Now, if you wanna build that concrete, or at least the walls and the sides out of concrete, I'm all for that, but we also got to consider what, if anything, we're ever going to do with the Humane Society, and how is that going to affect them if we put a structure out there? It doesn't look like it might affect them, but I don't know.
And that was the idea for a prefab building. You could move it in and out as needed if you decided to build there. That was our thinking. So
You want to go out there and look at it and?
Yeah, I'd be happy to go out there and look at it with you. I mean, somewhat familiar with the building. I think there's anything to keep us from putting the dock in, but, you can drop a little money, how you want the dock to operate, automatic dock, closures and all that stuff, but,
Can't remember, does the grade of that driveway go up or is it flat? Does it go up, right?
yeah.
So
it
you'd
does.
have to,
It does. Okay, yeah, if y'all want to come take a look at the site and see what
Yeah,
you think, we'd be glad to host you out there. Just let us know, and we'll be glad to be there and talk with you, so.
Well, I think the best thing to do is let Thomas and Jason go look at it if y'all volunteer to do it, and then,
Anybody wants to go, let them go, they know,
Yeah.
type of stuff, I know he does it all the time. But, and I ain't put bills up there that just get tore up 6 months or a year, it looks terrible, and,
Okay.
how do y'all grapple the bales? Do y'all have a grapple, or do y'all just run forward something?
It's a forklift setup right now.
You squeeze it though. You squeeze the
Yeah,
sides or you go under the bottom
You're talking about with the wire?
to move the bales.
You got full bales, been compressed and tied.
Yeah,
It's on a pallet, you pick it up with a fork?
yeah, it's a forklift, yeah,
No-
that's
no
moving
grapple.
it. It's forklifted and it's weighed. It's it's got little slats on the scale, and then you pull it off with a forklift and we put it on the trailer that's left for us at this point.
we don't put mileage on
Out
the
there,
way.
it's not on a pallet anymore, it's just the bale itself.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I thought, here, that's trouble. You gonna tear it, you'll do nothing 6 months.
Well, we would work on that if we would put it on, the idea was to put it on slats if we did have it in a building set up, but, yeah, if y'all take a look at it out there, maybe y'all can have some thoughts on it.
I mean, whatever's most efficient for y'all and less footwork, less moving around, would be what I'd be for, And I would think that having another dock and just walking into a trailer would be less steps and more efficient and less, taking it outside, you gotta take it outside and put it in the building, but whatever you recommend the operation to make it more efficient be what I'd be for, so.
The best thing is what we got now. They load a trailer and they move it.
Yeah.
Put another one in there. The best thing we got is what we got now.
Yeah.
We're running out of that option.
Right.
You fill the trailer up, you move it, you stick another empty one in there.
Right.
But we can still do that option if we buy a truck.
Mm-hmm.
But then we have to let our trailer go to the company and then bring an empty one in.
That would be something I would have to talk with them about as to whether that would work or not.
So we got into that before we lost the trailer. But that's the simple route, correct? I mean, best thing to do is take this full trailer to the company and put you an empty one there, fill it up, just keep swapping it out.
Problem is keeping up with your trailer. That's what we run into with that last one.
I agree.
With the GPS tracker.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
Put a big billboard on the sign of it, this is Logan County property.
Well, the problem is maintenance and all that too,
Keeping it roadworthy.
Who's doing the maintenance on that trailer, We finally found the trailer they were looking for 8 years sitting on the junk lot in Lexington.
Probably less maintenance on that trailer than a metal building, but.
I don't want to drag this out, but can we not have the trailer and hire somebody to carry it to that company? You just pay some trucking company to hook to it, carry it, unload it, bring it back it in that spot.
I don't know that would be.
I don't know either,
Because I'm not just exactly sure where these are gonna get shipped to. I mean, the Planet Recycling that we approved to do that, their exact setup for that is, I don't know if that would be possible or not.
You just have to talk to the person we got to deal with.
Yeah. Yeah, and my hope is maybe to bring her here at some point and maybe just have her talk to y'all if y'all want to talk to her. And I'll talk to her as well about it.
Yeah, it'd be a good idea, that way we can find out what they're willing to do and what works best, you might convince them to, swap a trailer with us, we buy one and they bring one, I can't remember, Planet Recycling doesn't charge us for the pickup. So,
No.
if we throw one trailer in the mix, theoretically, they're not out of trailer, or we do like Barry says, we hire a trucking company to, pull it down there, let them unload it, bring it back. I mean, you can do that pretty easy. There's plenty of independents that can do that. And it's not like we're producing 100 bales a day, so it's not critical for us. We have a time frame that we could be setting 8 or 10 bales to the side until we got the truck unloaded, so it's not a critical step in our operation.
How long does it take to load the trailer? How many days?
When we're running at full capacity, it's about a load a month. But right now, it's a load about a load in over 2 months. We're doing less than half what we had been doing because of the lack of inmate help. Because it's just not quite as much cardboard that we can gather up at this point and bale. So, and that's been one of our issues with getting a trailer, being able to be unloaded and loaded back, because there's just not the volume out there.
You're saying that the problem is when they leave with that trailer, you ain't got nowhere to go. Is that what you're saying?
Well, they don't want to leave. Right now on the site, we have a trailer left for us so we can load up. The Auburn Paladins leave a trailer for us. But the new company that they want to have, they don't want to do that. They don't want to leave a trailer for us. They just want to bring their trailer to load whenever we've got a full load of cardboard ready to go. Does that make sense?
What do we do with the cardboard until you put it on the trailer? It just sits out there in the building?
Well, right now it just sits on the trailer waiting to go, because that's the trailer it goes in. They just leave a trailer for us to load up.
Oh, I thought you said they didn't want to leave the trailer.
They don't. Well, the new company doesn't. So that's the question we're talking about, where to put the cardboard in the meantime.
Do you know a ballpark number of, without inmate help, what we're losing?
Say that again, I'm so sorry.
Like, without, you're saying that without inmate help, we're not able to process as much. Do you know a ballpark number of the dollar amount that we're not able to bring in because of that, or?
I mean, as far as volume goes, cardboard is a little bit up. It is doing a little better than it was, say, in 2019, when it was, so we did actually maybe get not really much as far as the money lost.
Okay.
But as far as the actual volume, it's probably about 40%. We're 40% of what we would have been in 2019 and 2020, if that makes sense.
We need to talk about that just a little bit, Tyler, because a lot of the state inmates that was able to go out and work have been commuted. They've been released, and I don't know when that, when we could ever get back to full operations.
Yeah, I'm not questioning.
You know what I'm
inmates.
talking about,
I know
you
the
know.
inmates can't, and it's not possible. That's something that we can't help.
Yeah.
It's not something we can do. I was just curious.
Yeah, well, I just want to throw that in there, because
Yeah, well,
it's just not, it's not going to be after COVID gets over that, that all this community work's going to start happening, because
Yeah.
Probably cool.
I think up there at the state, they're looking at reducing some of the felonies to misdemeanors.
Yeah.
And then and being able to transfer inmates and that type of stuff is just impossible right now because of the COVID.
What I was asking had nothing to do with the operation of the jail. I was
okay.
I
thought you meant the operations out there. What would it be if operations were?
Well, we can't get inmates right now, obviously. That's just something that the state's not allowing. I was just asking Nathan, number-wise, how has that changed? Do we going to have to fill that gap we don't know how long it's going to be. Do we need to look at filling that gap, if it's enough to make a big difference?
We could get another employee. If y'all want to give me one, I'll sure take it.
No, I was just asking the number. That's what I was getting at. I was just asking what that number was.
Yeah.
If it's not, then it's not something, that direction you would go, but
it would just be for the benefit of the community to get their cardboard. I mean, a guy wouldn't pay for themselves out there.
Okay.
I don't see that happening.
All right.
Okay, I misunderstood your question.
Yeah, that's where I was getting at, but if it's not enough to, pay for somebody to come out and help, then we don't need to go down that venue. That's what I was slowly getting at, but yeah, all right.
What? Yeah, if y'all want to come out there, just let me know.
Yeah, I think it'd be beneficial. Everybody go out there and you can just give a detail of this is what happens, this step, and we'll do this over here, and it'll probably be beneficial for everybody.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Sounds good. Anybody else? Anything else? Appreciate it.
No problem.
Thank you.
Ambulance service, y'all got anything to do?
Yes, sir. Didn't want to kind of update you guys on COVID and everything that's going on with us. We have had a pretty good drop in the number of COVID patients that we're treating, so that's been a good thing. But I'm sure Ginger will tell you our volume has been very, very high. We're already probably going to hit 600 runs, I would say, today or tomorrow. So we've been running at a pretty good clip. All our employees that requested the vaccine have got it, and we've got a pretty high vaccination rate, especially compared to some of the other ambulance services. Probably a little over 90% of our employees took the vaccination, so we're pretty proud of that. all the paperwork for FEMA and everything that we've got for reimbursement should be turned into you, Judge. I think your office has all that now, so we've got that over with. And so far, so good. We're plugging along. Did you want to talk about truck replacement today?
We got it as an item of business on remount. I'd like y'all to hang around a few minutes on that. We do have the specs, for the remount.
Sure, absolutely.
I guess one question I got, have y'all talked to the company down in Tennessee about the ambulance that was wrecked?
Yes, they gave us about 2 weeks ETA last week, so we'll call them again this week. It's been pushed back. I think they've been busy, and we're ready to have it back. Med 12, the one we're looking at replacing, is out of service right now for mechanical reasons and may not be fixable. So we're essentially down 2 ambulances right now. So we're looking forward to getting it back. So hopefully next 2 weeks we'll have it back and be able to get it back in service.
Okay.
And the other thing I want to bring up to you guys is there's a radio system that's called WinLink. I don't know if any of you guys, Tyler, you may have heard of this. I'm not sure, but
Is it kind of like the AT&T?
No, this is a system that uses, you can do it through VHF or HF or different radio systems, but essentially you can send small data packets through radio systems, so small emails and things. And we've been working in some of our other counties, and all the surrounding counties around here have been working towards building a pretty robust system using radio repeaters, so that in a disaster, if say we didn't have internet service anywhere in Logan County, we could still communicate with our surrounding counties. We could communicate with the EOC at Frankfurt via email, via this WinLink system.
Is that the thing the state's doing?
The state has been pushing it some.
Through KET or something, through their, like they can provide internet at homes, like a small data package at homes through antenna?
It's a little bit different than that, but
Is
the
it-
state has already incorporated all of the forms, all of the EM forms through this program. So you
Okay.
can essentially run an EOC via the radio, even with internet capability. It's pretty neat.
So we have been able to get the antennas, radios, and most of the equipment we need to set this up for free for the county through the Healthcare Preparedness Coalition that we participate in out of Bowling Green's region. So we have most of that on hand, but I just want to make sure that you guys didn't have a problem with us. I think just the city actually owns the tower.
The city owns the property, we own the tower.
We need to put an antenna up on the Russellville Tower, the repeater site here in town. We've tried to run it from our station, and just as low as we sit behind that hill, we're just not able to reach out, and our radio reach the surrounding counties' radios.
We would just want to make sure that we work with Derek Wilson.
Right.
And make sure that there's nothing that could interfere or do something. Sure. We got our own issues we're working out with our radio system.
Sure.
But
I did have a good meeting with him the other day. He came to the station talking for a long time.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, there's rack space I would think, in the tower, and yeah.
It shouldn't take up much.
Tower space? Is there room on the tower?
I would think, it depends on how high it needs to go. I mean,
It doesn't have to be crazy, as long as we can essentially hit our surrounding counties with a 2 meter, which, I mean, if you clear the top of that hill, you should be able to do it. It shouldn't be a problem, because that's a pretty robust system from there.
Gotcha.
It shouldn't be a problem.
Well, if there was a problem with height, I mean, the electric plant board tower's right next to us, and theirs higher than ours a little bit, so.
Who owns on that tower now? Do you know?
On which tower?
Our tower.
Just our stuff.
It's just our stuff, I think.
There's a little bit more for somebody else to be on that, Dewberry.
I think we did, but I don't think they ever done anything.
I don't think there's no equipment other than Logan County's radio system in that building.
Didn't Joe do something?
Yeah, but I think he ended up leasing something like this. BEI on our old tower, or we were on there.
No, VEI owns the tower on the right.
I think Joe's request, I think he did request that.
Are y'all talking about Joe Seeley? He has agreement up there, but it's not on our tower.
With BEI. I thought we had approved somebody else.
There's nothing
We
else.
had an agreement with Pleasant View Farms, just because we think it's on our tower, but he does not.
That's what I think.
Yeah,
With that Joe Woodard.
because he took that.
Not the top thing, that's something else.
But he's not put anything.
But the things below
He
it.
had permission to do this, so it'll be able to choose. That's right.
That's just because, see, when we were cleaning up the tower site, there were so many old towers up there, and his was one of them that just had.
Hey, that old tower, like is it orange or something? That used to be what our stuff was on, right?
There was one behind the,
Penny Ryle.
funeral that our stuff was on.
Do we own that tower? Who owns that tower? Is Penny Ryle
We
on
own
it?
that tower, building.
We,
I
okay.
know we bought a new tower, and we own one that's not as tall.
Yeah. There's somebody on that tower now, because somebody's on that tower now. I don't
And I know on
know
our tower site, the only thing we had is our equipment.
Right.
And of course, the internet and stuff like that for our system.
who. Yeah. Yeah, I've been up there and Derek said, that's that, that's this, that's that, and none of it was anybody else's, so. Appreciate it, man.
All right, yeah, thank y'all for, you have any questions for us? All right, appreciate it.
Okay, thank you. We'll move on then. That's all the department heads I think I see here today. Judges' announcements. You got a thank you letter from Agape for the support during that we give to Brother Joe's toys for Christmas through them. There's also a copy of an email from Diane Andrews from KCO in your folders, and they're basically thanking us for our support in passing a resolution on the gas tax. And this is very important. Any of you that hadn't filled out and returned your annual financial interest statement for Brad to be able to have on record, we need that done as soon as possible, because it needs to be recorded down in Scotty's office and then set to Brad, don't it, Scotty? So if you hadn't done it, we need to get that in as quick as possible. Okay, one other thing while we're talking about it, if any of you are willing to serve on United Way allocation committee, and I don't know exactly how much time it'll take. It'll probably take 10 to 15 hours or more to determine the allocations here in Logan County from the money they raised. I've got a form up here that we can fill out and send your name in, and you can be part of that allocation for United Way, if you got the time. So with that being said, that's all the announcements I got. Is there any more that other people know about? Maybe we'll get past this COVID someday, and we'll have a bunch of announcements, things going on in the community. Okay, we don't have any citizens here this morning. I don't know if any of you's got anything, a text or anything, but if you do.
On the citizen participation, I did have a citizen ask me, and I couldn't give a straight answer. Are we allowing citizens to come to be in court?
What we're doing, Thomas, we're advertising this with the agenda. You know what I'm talking about, that we send to the newspaper and to the radio station, that what they need to do, they need to call me and schedule, that they're coming. And then what we'll do, we'll work them in and out, what I'm talking about, if they want to address court, okay?
So just call the judge's office if they want to attend
Yeah.
court prior, prior to that. Any
Yes.
particular time before that, or?
Well, just need to, I'd say they need to call the day before, what I'm talking about, at least the day before, where I can schedule, them to come in. And we will probably, Thomas, schedule it kind of early, like we did East Logan, and let them, say their piece. And
No, this inquiry was somebody who just wanted to sit through.
well, and that's okay if they wanted to address court, but if they want to sit through it, we could.
They just wanted to sit.
Yeah,
and see.
yeah. We can work that out for a few people.
Okay.
Okay, Items of new business, first item of business is open bid for roof replacement at the ambulance service building. I think we did get 2 bids this time. One of them from Preferred Construction Services. And this is on a standing seam, right, Tom?
That's correct.
Base bid was $64,922. And I will pass these out. Look like you made several copies. There is some.
Who was that from?
Preferred Construction Services.
Okay, we got another one from NATO Roofing.
Who is this, Thomas? They don't have a name on it.
Preferred.
Preferred.
Was that who bid it?
Last court meeting. They're the only bidder of last court meeting.
But who was the people that,
They bid it to the ambulance service, they never gave us
but this is the same company,
a different company.
and that company didn't bid?
They did,
Oh, okay. Okay.
they didn't in the last.
Okay.
Okay, the bid from NATO Roofing. And it looks like, and they just sent one, $29,820. Yeah. NATO Roofing.
So NATO bid straight to the ambulance service back in like November or December.
November was what was on the quote.
It was like 21 grand,
I got this one.
and now it's 29. Did we spec the gutters? Are they 5-inch or 6-inch?
We did spec them with, there was an option, that's not included in the base bid, that's an add option.
So is there any reason why one's like twice as the other, as far as what they're going to do?
No, the specs are exactly the same.
Okay.
I can just tell you one's extremely cheap, but there's nothing wrong with his bid. I've called him and asked him, if he had any questions about it. I even asked him, because he typically does not bid off of spec. He just bids off of, he just doesn't do public work. He just, it's more of a one-on-one.
Right.
And asked him, did you understand? We called him. I have no doubt whatsoever that he will do a good job.
He did come by the building, he got to the attic and looked around for a while too.
And we're talking about NATO?
Yes.
There's nothing, I'm not making a recommendation.
Right.
There's no indication to me that those people want to work or want to do it. forward into what you would see in a pre-COVID situation. I think it's a little cheaper. You just stand and sing on something that you do around $1,000, 70 square. This is it forward from the city.
Okay, I got 2 or 3 questions, I'm lost. Okay. One is 65,000. 129, they're not doing the same thing, are they?
They will be required to do the exact same thing.
I mean, the same, they're getting the same thing.
Same material, same everything. That's what.
I don't even know why we want to consider it 60-something else. Okay. I was
No, you know, again, the same specs were given to both contractors, and they will be required by the court to perform that just as the specs were given.
So it's $5,000 to repair it, what might last 10 more years, versus what's in 10 years, and we don't know what standing seam metal roof's gonna cost, you know, so it's like, do you go ahead and, I mean, I think it's, like, it sounds like a good deal, I mean, I don't know.
It's a no-brainer to me. I'm
Yeah.
standing seam metal roof, I'm not
Yeah.
spending $5,000 on that.
Yeah.
But, I mean, especially when
Send me the picture.
I know that it's one heck of a good price. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm in that industry.
Yeah,
How and why he does that at $29,800 is not my concern. I'm just telling you it's an exceptional, good price. You know, maybe he just wanted to do the job. I have no idea.
The standing seam should outlast the building.
yeah.
But then we had the gutters on top of that.
If you want them, you know,
Guess I'm gonna be ignorant, do we have gutters now?
Yes.
There's gutters now, okay. I was thinking probably would.
they're a little undersized. I don't know if, I don't go out there enough to see if they have a problem. They're just a little bit undersized, so sometimes when you get a heavier rain, you probably get a little jumping of the water together. But whether that's an issue for them or not, I couldn't tell you. But
We do have several spots of the drywall on our ceilings that is yellowed and sinking. It's getting through in some places.
I'm talking.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We've never noticed any issues with gutters that are correct size.
I guess my thoughts is, I guess if the ambulance service outgrows the building, the county is still on the building, we'll have use for it down the road, correct?
Oh,
Am I
yeah.
correct in that?
I don't see why we would, I mean,
Even if they outgrow it, we'll still have a use for it, so.
we're written for,
I'm in favor of probably fixing it, with the roof, not repairing it, putting a roof on it.
instead of putting it in the form of motion.
I'm not afraid to put that in the form of motion if that's what y'all want to do.
What about the gutters? Did we feel like they need to be replaced? Add that too, is that what?
I missed that. What was the price of total to do the gutters?
$27.50, I think, that was an option. $27.50 was an alternate bid, one gutters and downspouts.
Is $27.50 an exceptional price, Thomas, on gutters?
The other one was $10,570.
I don't have it no more.
Oh, you didn't?
Oh, yeah, well, I do, sorry. No, I don't.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like in 10 years, it's liable to be $80,000 or $90,000 to replace the roof if we just repaired it now.
We don't have no way of knowing, what it'll cost then.
Oh, it's gonna go up.
Oh,
Nothing
definitely.
ever goes down.
Yeah.
So what was your final motion?
Everything I see here seems to meet the spec, and a lot of those things can. I'll be glad to y'all should go down this road and meet with them and just make sure we're on the same page. It's like, again, I know this is not typically used to bidding off a spec, and just puts a roof on it, how he knows to do it, but I had a long conversation with him, and he exceeds all the expectations that are in the spec. So,
I think a no-brainer.
I'm gonna make the motion that we go with NATO Roofing for $29,820 to replace the roof on the ambulance service, freestanding by the specs. And I'm also gonna add alternate bid 1 to replace the gutters and downspouts for $2,750 additional dollars on top of his bid. I'll put that in the form of a motion.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, we got a motion and second to accept NATO bid along with the option of the gutters and downspouts for an additional $2,700.
$2,750.
$2,750. Any questions? Okay, let's have roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Crosley,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Kyle,
Yes.
Bolden,
yes,
Chick,
Yes.
And I just feel like the other one, when we got in there with 5,000, it was gonna be more than what we thought. I just feel like that this was the best for the future of the county to refund that.
I agree.
Okay, next item of business, we tried to get quotes for maintenance on the 911 center and the tire site generators, and we had 2 different companies to turn in 3 different quotes. And I think Tyler worked with both these companies as far as looking at the generators, and one quote from Nixon, and if I say something wrong, Tyler, be sure and let me know. It looked like the semi-annual quote is $850.
$850 for the tower site plus $800 for the ECC site, so a total of, $1,650.
Total of what?
800 and 650, right, 1450.
800 plus 850. So 1,650. Yeah, there's a bunch of them on there. That's for.
Okay, I'm looking. I didn't see that back page.
Yeah, they
So
did it.
we're talking $1,650.
And I did the same thing when I talked to you. I did the same thing. I looked at one. I didn't combine them. So yeah. It's actually 2. They separated it. So $1,650 for semi-annual service, 1 major and 1 minor checkup on the generators.
Okay, and that's from Nixon Tire Services.
Right.
Okay, we got 2 different quotes here from Evapar.
Evapar.
Okay.
I don't know if that's right or not. He also gave a semi-annual. They both give a semi-annual price and a quarterly price. I asked, and they said, semi-annual's probably plenty, but I mean, it just depends on what the court wants to do, if they want to do it more than that, but semi-annual is pretty typical.
The semi-annual, are you saying 2306?
Semi-annual is $1,200. For both.
And then the quarterly?
$1,200 for both, and yeah. Okay, this one was 4 times a year then?
Yes.
Okay.
The road department haul fuel to it when it needs to get them. Y'all treat that, don't you?
He's always brought it when I call it.
Okay.
No, we don't put treatment, we just go by the winter treatment, fuel company put in,
Okay, so it's got treatment in it then, if it's in the wintertime. If you buy it, put it in the wintertime. If it's in summer, I don't know. Correct.
What you want?
Well, there was a thing on here for fuel treatment, that's why I was asking. There was a part in here for fuel
That
treatment.
treatment, you know, get into different opinions on treatment, so we, that's where we don't use any of it. You know what I'm saying? I'll talk to you about that.
Quarterly on Evapar was $2,306, $2,306. So,
If it's running in the wintertime, we just don't want jet enough.
And both of them, both quoters said they thought semi-annual would be plenty.
I know one did. I can't remember if the other guy told me that or not.
Okay.
But I mean, compared to, I guess, preventive maintenance that we're doing on it currently, you know, semi-annual's a step up.
Just a little like a big step from what we're doing.
And it's not real, you know, it's one less thing for Ginger to have to worry about. I mean, she has to go out there and look at it or check it, you know. She don't even have to, she needs to be worried about 911 calls, not worried about a generator. I know as much as she wants to. No.
Okay, this gentleman said that there was some issues with the one at the...
So yeah, the one at the tower site needs attention pretty, you know, I don't know that it would prevent it from, I don't think it would prevent it from operating, but it does have an error code that needs to be addressed. And it probably related to the block heater, but, and coolant, so.
Did he mention what that repair would be?
He didn't, but I mean, you know, that's something that we could, even if we didn't do this, we could just call a company and say, you know, it's pretty critical, we need you to come fix it and send us a bill. I don't know that we need to get a price on that. I think that needs to just happen, right?
What about the antifreeze leak? Is it very bad, or who puts the antifreeze in it, or they said there's some jugs laying out there around it, like it's getting rid of coolant. Do we know?
The last time I had, I mean, of course, I've had the electrician look at it, you know, the electrical issues, and, you know, when they put the fuel and stuff in it, they checked it, you know, but I don't think I leaked, nobody said
Okay.
anything I leaked.
Okay.
I just found out about the error code, Derek said something about an error code.
Yeah, and that's how I found out. And then when I went with the one guy, he said, well, you got an error on here, and he called their tech and got on the phone and said, well, try this. And they actually did a little, you know, they was trying to troubleshoot it for me right there on the spot, but, you know, we just need to call them out and tell them to come and fix whatever's wrong. You know, I would say ASAP, but I think the judge can do that without us having to approve it, being as that it's got a problem and be, you know, break fix. So we need to do that pretty immediate.
I'll talk to you before. But the block heater's in the block on the cat, right? It's not an inline. Okay.
I went down there with bunker in one time, you know, I don't know.
You certified technician.
That's about like rebooting a computer.
Hey, now you're gonna lose me.
The one at ECC, I think they've done more work on it, it's more, just like, the one at the tower site's more computerized and all that. The one at ECC doesn't even have a gauge on it, so just do all have a stick. But it's been there since 99.
Yeah.
Okay, do we have a recommendation?
I mean, I'd make unless the court wants to go quarterly, I mean, I'd recommend that we just do it semi-annual starting out, and unless you want to do it more on the ECC one than the one up at the tower site, I don't know, but I figure would be my recommendation, unless, you know, it's not a whole lot of money if you did it quarterly, but I don't know how y'all feel about it.
I think semi-annually is fine. It's twice as much, sounds like, than we're getting now.
Okay. Well,
Which company did you,
Evapar. And Evapar has a tech, in Rockfield. That's the guy that comes and,
Is that the guy that Scotty gave you the number for, or is that the other one?
no. I talked to that guy and he decided not to. He's having a hard time getting price on a kit. He's a Generac dealer. He's having a hard time getting the maintenance kit on the Kohler stuff because he's not a Kohler dealer.
Yeah.
So he just said, just go with the bids we got.
Oh, okay.
He didn't want to put one in.
Okay,
Talked to him last night.
okay.
So the semi-annual's $1,200.
Yeah, I mean, I'll make a motion that we hire Evercar to do a semi-annual maintenance on the generator at the tower site, NECC, for $1,200 per year.
Where's that rate bar out of?
What's that?
Where they out of?
Judge, I think Louisville.
They got 6 different locations. But
Yeah, with their location, I would say this guy.
Evansville's is the
Actually, the
closest.
guy that came down here and met me was from Evansville,
Yeah,
but they
that's
got a
the
Louisville.
closest.
But they have a tech nearby, like they have techs all around.
Oh, okay.
One in Rockfield. So-
Actually, Nashville's closer to Louisville.
Oh, was there a Nashville location?
Everpar's got a Nashville?
I didn't see
I
that.
misread that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, the dude that,
Memphis, it's Memphis.
this Brad guy's from Evansville. He's got an Evansville area code.
Yeah.
All right. Good deal. Good work, Tyler.
Okay, we've had a motion, go with semi-annual quote from Vapor for $1,200 annually, if I'm understanding it right.
Yes, sir.
And we had a second.
Thomas seconded it.
Who seconded?
Thomas did.
Thomas? Okay. Okay, is there any questions? Okay, let's have roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Crossley. Crossley,
Jack?
Here. Wright,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Kyle,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Chick.
Yes.
I guess when we call them, I don't know who will be the point of contact. I guess Ginger or, we need to, just establish a point of contact.
Are you the point of contact?
Okay. We'll just make sure they know when they come do maintenance, just holler at you and,
Okay,
all right.
I've got all the keys.
She's the key master.
Okay, next item of business is to discuss community development block grant proposal. Y'all should have information in your folder talking about the community block grant kind of various response program. The state allocated so many dollars to go to utility relief around the state of Kentucky. Each entity through community block grant and Brad will write the grant, administer to the grant. We don't have no idea exactly what we're qualified for. They got to check with all of the utility companies to see if see what the need is for Logan County. The big question that I got about it, the people that's behind, this will be probably a 5-month process before a check can be written. So I don't know exactly how that part of it will work, but there's got to be an assessed need from all utility companies to know how much we would apply for. And then and the fire companies and the water districts, most of your cities are going to apply for water and sewer. They got to be within the jurisdiction of the city to get this help, or the jurisdiction of the county. Somebody bury out in your district, it's on Lewisburg water or Russell water. I think you got both of them in your district. That don't live in the city won't qualify for what the city applies for. It can be as much as $250,000. We do have to designate a nonprofit, which I'm going to recommend community action if we decide to move forward with it. But the big question, and I know Elizabeth this morning, she might not know a whole lot about CDBG grants, but first thing is the application, okay? That's probably going to take a month. It's probably going to take somewhere close to 6 weeks to get approval from the Office of Local Government. It's probably going to take another 4 weeks to get a check, okay? Then it's going to take us a month to amend it in the budget if we get it done within a month. So we might be paying some utility bills by August, is the way I look at it. This is one of those things I think that's a necessary thing that we do, but then again, it's going to throw a little bit more work on us. And it's a possibility of $250,000, but I don't think that with the 4 cities in the county, I don't think there'll be $1,250,000. I believe, there's got to be a need for it. And they'll check with each utility company and see what the need is, and that's what we'll be able to apply for. So
I think we need to do it. I mean, if there's a grant available, it may take a little effort, a little time, but if it puts funds in community action or any other nonprofit, it would help.
one of the things that, too, that I checked on, Tom's, not meaning to cut you off, community action gets some light heat money, and that's for heating and cooling, to help with gas bills, electric bills. That money will have to be depleted before they can use it in with an electric company or a gas company. Those dollars have to be completely depleted. And but they said, however it's set up, that money could be moved if it's not needed for the electric and gas company, for the heating and cooling program. And they call it light heat for some reason. So.
There's free money out there to help our constituents.
Absolutely.
Through hard times, I'm willing to put in the effort. So it's kind of amazing. It takes 5 months to get it going, but anyhow, like when the best time to learn to grow.
Okay, I need a motion then for Logan County to be able to apply for this community development block grant, and also in the motion we need to include that we use community action as our nonprofit entity that will qualify and disperse the money if we receive it.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, got a motion and a second. Now, is there any questions? There's no way in the world to tell y'all how much we'll be applying for, because it's, like I said, they've got to assess the need with all the companies. And y'all do want to include electric companies in on it too.
All of them.
Gas company.
Yeah,
Okay.
yep.
Okay. All right, we got a motion, we got a second. Is there any questions? Okay, let's have roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Crossley,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Kyle,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Chick.
Yes. Okay, next item of business is discuss, go ahead advertising for bids on an ambulance remount on Med 12. Hopefully we'll get the other ambulance back. It was Med 11, or was it 11 or 10? What was it? 10? Hopefully we'll get it back in a couple weeks, and they, basically the ad on front of that, that's just something we'll have to redo, but y'all see the specs here for the remount of Logan County Med 12.
No.
And we need to be allowed to go ahead and put that out for bid.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, got a motion. Did we have a second?
I'd second it.
Okay, Tyler seconded. Okay, is there any question? Now, this bill came out on a new chassis with,
Yeah, it'll be a new chassis, we're asking for a E350 chassis and, the new standard motor on those, the 7.3 V8. So it'll be the first one to have that, so I've heard good things about it.
okay, any other question? If not, let's have roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Crossley,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Kyle,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Chick,
Yes. Okay, every year at this time, I kind of ask for approval to advertise for the ambulance service,
First cash we got.
to go ahead and put out for bid the advertisement for ambulance service for fiscal year 21-22, and I've got it scheduled to open that bid on April 13th.
So moved.
Second.
And y'all should have a qualification, a list of what it takes, the qualification of contractors that will bid on it. And I don't know of any changes we need to make in that. Okay, we had a motion, we had a second, right? Okay, let's have roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Crossley,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Kyle,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Chick,
Yes. Okay, next item of business is same thing as the black fly treatment for Red River, Whipwell Creek, and that's also put that out and be able to open it on April the 13th too.
Jack? Oh. Go ahead.
Jack, that's you, man.
Jack, you want to make a motion for the black
All
fly?
right, we talking about the black fly business, aren't we?
That's right.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, according to the expenses the county's had to put out now for one reason or another, and very few people contacted me last year about the black fly business. I'm not gonna put in for it. I'm not gonna make a motion for it this time. I think it's the wrong year to do it.
Okay.
I'm not hearing enough out of it. Pretty good expense about it.
All right.
I don't want to let somebody else make a motion this time.
You're up,
I
Barry.
want to put that in the form of a
Give it to
motion.
me.
Second.
Okay, Barry, you made the motion, right?
We had a motion and a second, Jack.
Okay.
Okay, I think I just told you, Jack, and I'm going to repeat it. We had a motion and second to go ahead and talk about putting this out for bid and opening it up on April 13th. Is there any question?
Yeah, how do they do it? How do they spray? In an airplane?
No. What they do, this is a partner.
Pour it in the water.
This is a partnership with the state. They furnish the chemical and we furnish the labor to treat those black flies. And like Jack said,
Jack ain't been getting no complaints, so I reckon.
this last year I got less complaints than I've gotten in several years.
Hey, there.
Yes, sir. Yes. Yes, sir.
Did you get a lot of calls on it last year?
Yeah, and I went out there, they were pretty bad. When I got the call, I went to the place and they were real bad.
Are they saying it don't work for you?
No, it's hard. You gotta get them in the water.
But, my gut feeling says not to make a motion for it this year. Like you said, it's already been made, it's on the table.
Okay.
I'm gonna get fussed at, but that's okay.
It's like $1,200.
Okay, any more discussion? If not, let's have roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Crossley,
No.
Wright,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Kyle,
No.
Bolden,
Yes.
Chick.
Yes. Okay, motion passes 5-2. Okay,
Aggravating little rascals, man, I'll tell you.
I think right before court, I passed out what negotiations have been made between our insurance company, Paragon. Hopefully everything's good in that. I seem to think so, and Kelly does too, to approve the negotiated contract payments with Logan Memorial and Paragon Insurance.
I put that in the form of a motion, along with, the insurance committee was meeting, that's the reason we were a little bit tardy, but had a little bit, as we know, with the self-insured fund, we have, it's new to a lot of people, so we knew we were gonna have some kinks, and this is one of them, just, our local suppliers just being familiar with how this works, so they had to go through the headache of negotiating some rates, and they have done that, and that's their recommendation. We feel like it's definitely cheaper than what full rate Anthem or full rate health insurance, normal health insurance provider would be paying. So this allows them to move forward and get those bills paid. And it's like a contract, just like Anthem has with, the local hospital or the local providers. Now this will be a contract that will be on services. So if anybody goes out there, if you've experienced pain, delay in getting the bill paid, this should alleviate that pain with this provider. Again, if you have any providers, it's not, heard back from Paragon, be sure to let us know so we can be on top of that and get that negotiated and get to it. But anyhow, we appreciate the hospital doing that, taking the time to reach out to us and negotiate this, and we can move forward with some outstanding invoices. But that was a form of a motion on the speech.
Second.
Okay, got a motion and a second. Question. Okay, let's have a roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Crosley,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Kyle,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Chick.
Yes. Okay, let's take a small recess, and I need to make a telephone call to get somebody in court.
It's on the folder, so.
Yeah, you have time to sign this.
yeah. I got tired of the responses we get from people. Like, so how bad does the criminal report have to be before you turn it down? I mean, it's like, can you give me 3 months to get a job? I mean, it's just.
Yeah, that's nuts.
Sweet lady that's there, so.
That's good.
we're happy
Hopefully you
about
got a
it.
good one.
Yeah.
All right, we'll see you.
You don't have another opportunity.
All right. Oh,
Okay, we got everybody back in seat, are we on, Tyler? Okay.
Yes, we should be.
What we're here today to talk about is a specific proposal, consider a specific proposal. So actually, we need to go in closed session under KRS 61, 810, 1G. You probably need to hold off till we vote, Tyler. Discussions between a public agency and a representative of a business entity, discussions concerning a specific proposal.
Move to enter closed session under that KRS that you just read.
second.
Okay, got a motion and a second. Any questions? Okay, let's have roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Crosley,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Kyle,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Chick.
Yes. Okay, now we're in closed session.
Did you fall out of the chair again?
That's my, getting old.
Did anybody get a hold of Janice?
Huh?
Janice?
Oh,
Oh.
here she is. I'll stop calling.
Okay, we're back in regular session. Do we have a motion?
Yeah, Judge, I'd like to make a motion that we give a letter of support for this project, the Logan Ag, to apply for the KBI incentive program, to which Logan County would be giving up their full 0.75% of occupational tax for 10 years once they meet the thresholds of 20 employees and the capital investment that they've stated.
Second.
Okay, got a motion and second. Any questions? Okay, let's have roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Crossley,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Kyle,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Chick.
Yes.
Likewise, Judge, I'd like to make the same recommendation language, but on a different project. Project Auburn Packaging, somewhere around 10 employees, there's a capital investment as stated. That's the same thing as the motion.
Second.
Okay.
That Auburn man over there do it.
Okay, I guess,
That KBI incentive program for the state. That one, the only difference is it's in the city of Auburn and Logan County, so we will only be giving up a portion of our 0.75.
a .33. Okay, we did have a second.
Yeah, I did.
Okay. I figured Auburn won't come in there. Okay, any questions? If there's no questions, let's have roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Crossley,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Kyle,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Chick.
Yes. Okay, post agenda.
I'll make,
Thank you all. I appreciate your
Hey,
support.
thanks, Tom, for,
Thank you, Mr. Harden. There was a thing there about this job.
yeah. Oh, yeah, I was going to bring that up. Hold on one second. Is that it? Yeah. Okay. Well, is everybody, we'll let the teachers help her get that picked up first.
That last thing we discussed.
See, Tom.
We'll get these letters to you after we get a copy of them and all that.
All right. There's your copies.
All right. So as many of you know, or all of you know, is that lots of things, technology, have been brought up lately by our departments, and just, expressing the need of some assistance in technology. Over the years, the county has called on a break fix model, and we have a few guys that, everybody's kind of doing their own thing. Of course, all y'all know that I'm the director of technology at the county school system, and I do know how important it is to make sure that technology is, is seen after on a regular basis, and it's very important, I believe, to have someone on site and someone as an organization person to manage the needs and to manage anything technology in the county or in an organization. I think it's just something that we've led up to, and it's a very serious need. And I've spoken with the other guys on the personnel committee, and I've brought it up on several occasions that I do believe that Logan County, we need a technology person that can work with all departments, work with all technology in our county, and work with vendors and get familiar with every vendor we work with and inventory, keep up what we have, and keep everything up to date, preventing vulnerabilities, keeping websites up to date, working with social media, just things that we're working into. And we can't expect people at the departments. I mean, Sheriff Stratton's still here. If I was a police officer and I had to work on my own computers, I'd probably put a bunch of bullet holes in it already. But they're police officers. They don't need to be working on their own computers. And same thing with EOC in this office, or the jail, or whoever. We have, and we're growing lots of technology inventory, and the need of someone be working with that on a regular basis. So I did come up with a job description, and I handed it out to everybody. And so it's pretty typical to the rest of our job descriptions, other than I just edited it for the technology aspect of it. But I'm just thought I'd bring it to the rest of the court and see what y'all's thoughts on us creating a position for a technology director.
One thing, before it goes any farther, this would be an ordinance to the personnel policy.
Right.
Which would take 2 reasons.
Right.
And
well, we can do that. We can do that, or I just want to make the rest of the court aware and just bring it up, and we don't have to do that today.
I mean, if we decide to do it,
Yeah.
what I'm trying to
Yeah,
say. This ain't got anything to do with deciding whether the job's necessary, but it's going to take a little process.
Oh, yeah, I know. Just like when we changed the job descriptions last year, we had to do it that way. So, yeah, I understand. But if anybody else has any other thoughts about it, open for discussion.
Is this in your opinion, a full-time position?
Yes, absolutely.
And is, and would this person need his own office, I'm assuming?
So this person, well, yeah, they would need to be, they would find somewhere for them to be here, I would think.
Yeah.
Find somewhere for them to, I mean, I've had an office in a closet before, so I mean, I'm not saying when you put somebody,
So you
but.
came out of the closet.
Whoa, now, so.
Yeah, I mean, I can't disagree with this position right here.
I don't know, just your department, Sheriff, I mean, how many times a week could you call somebody at least 3-4 times a week, say, hey, we got, Microsoft Word's not activated or anything?
Yeah, it's a constant daily need, and I love technology. It becomes aggravating when you're having to figure out why this won't connect or that, what's the right computer to buy, and things like that. So with the body cam situation coming up, with things, that's even more something, a tool that we could use. We currently have a agreement with a company that kind of monitors our tax computers and having things like that. And I'd really like to create a website for the agency and things, even create online tax payments, and that would be something. I could have a lot of work.
Yeah, I understand.
And dispatch needs it as well.
Right.
Networking with the departments and creating things like that.
Right.
Yeah. More avenues for us to utilize that.
Yeah, and we're, essentially too, adding a new job category to the county, technology. It's a good.
I'm not saying this happens, but I would want to make sure that all departments understood that if we hire a full-time person, that person is going to be responsible for that department's technology.
Right. Anything purchased by the county or what, you know.
That's correct. I wouldn't want to hear that, well, this is, you know, we're going to pick on the sheriff, since he's not going to hear. I don't want to hear the sheriff is not allowing our IT person to monitor, check, or do something with these three computers for whatever reason, fill in the blank. I don't know what the reason would be.
Right.
If we're going to hire a full-time person, we need to have an understanding that this is Logan County system. Just because you work at the sheriff's department, you don't own that system. Our IT guy is responsible for that system.
Which, like you said, it brings even more of a better point for us to have our own person that works for the county, is that if there are some sensitive material or sensitive information on the computer, we need to be able to entrust on our own people and not call someone from the outside to come have a look at stuff that could be, you know, potentially. But yeah, I mean, and there's a lot of things, you know, I'm sure since nobody's in technology here as a job, there's going to be some things that are going to surface, you know, nothing critical, but you know, but hey, there's 3 computers over here that's Windows 7. Windows 7's end of life, you know, Microsoft don't support it anymore. We need to upgrade it. You know, there could be some things out there we don't know. We don't have an inventory. We tried to get an inventory 6 months ago and we haven't really seen it yet. But that's no fault to anybody. It's no fault to anybody in the county. Everybody else, you know, sheriff's department ain't got time to inventory computers. They're police officers. I mean, you know, that'd be part of an IT person's job. They manage the inventory. All purchases would go through an IT person. All IT purchases would go through. When you buy a computer, it needs to be standardized. We need to have specs just like we spec a roof. It needs to be computer specs that, you know, you don't go to Walmart and buy a $200 PC. But people in these departments don't know that, or they just need a computer, you know. But I just think it'd be more responsible for the county to have an IT person that's on site all the time. Now, this person's not going to be superhero, do every single little thing. I mean, there's going to be bigger projects with, like, you know, the EOC server project. We're still going to have to hire a company to come do that. But that IT person would work with that vendor and be the direct point of contact, you know, with that department head and talking, you know, technology with that person. So, but anyway, that's my recommendation. And you know, like I say, I've talked to Barry and I've talked to Jack too about it some, and I just believe this direction.
I think it's
I think it's something we need to move forward with.
We need that form of a motion, Judge, to advertise for that, or should we? put that-
Well, first thing we got to do, we got to take it to Joe and we'll have to get an ordinance to the personnel policy, but we can do that.
Yeah.
Elizabeth's here today, so she can pass it on. And go ahead and do an ordinance including this job description in the county personnel policy. Now, that'll take the next meeting and the next meeting. But, and then at that point, we can advertise, Thomas.
I'd encourage you too, Judge, just in the meantime, just to make sure we're talking to all department heads about what we're doing and why we're doing it, so nobody gets their feelings hurt and then say, I didn't know I was going to have an IT guy in here. I don't want you here in my office digging through my computers, you know. I don't think that would happen,
Yeah.
but some people like to get this I-own mentality.
Over 2 years that I've been on court, I've had one-on-one conversations with, you know, but you're right, Judge, we need to make sure that they know still, but I have talked with, I would say, each department head and each elected official about it at some point. And, you know, and for the most part, they're in agreement that we need an IT person, so.
We had an issue in my office that lasted from Saturday to Wednesday night, wasn't it?
Yep.
Tyler?
Yep.
Just this last week, and to tell you the truth, I thought I caused it on Saturday morning. I was up there Saturday, very few days that well, there haven't been any days since last year at this time that I haven't been up here, getting emails and trying to keep up with little necessary things with COVID before I start my day. And I was up here last Saturday and the computer went down. And matter of fact, it was while I was opening up an attachment, Thomas. And we were till Wednesday night, about 6:30 or 7 o'clock, 15 to 7, before we got that thing up and going and working with the program. Anyhow, stuff like it happens. And we got new computers, mostly in the office there. It's not over 2.5 years
Yeah,
old.
we replaced them.
Except for mine. Mine's not hooked into the software. It's just basically I use it for emails.
Yeah, we upgraded yours, we upgraded Amanda's old one to Windows 10, and you got that one.
Yeah.
All right, so we don't need to do any action on that today. We'll wait till the next board meeting, right?
Yes.
Okay, all right. All right, that's it.
There you go.
This is your favorite part, Robert Earl.
I make a motion, we adjourn.
I'll second it.
You're not gonna bring up your road today?
He said you're gonna bring up your road today.
Are you gonna bring up your road today?
No. No.
He left.
Paul's gonna measure and get out, and then when I come back, bring it up, I got the measurements and everything.
Okay.
Listen, I can email to y'all. You don't have to.
Okay, we had a motion to adjourn, then do we have a second?
Yeah, Jason did.
Jason? Okay, let's have roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Crosley,
Here.
Wright,
Yeah.
Harper,
Yes.
Kyle,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Chick,
Yes.